sometimes you just want to hear, I earned this much amount, or I got this grade, and people can be a bit ugh when it comes to social media. But today I want to tell you the specifics of my university experience in terms of grades and how I got in, my college life and my school life. And this video is in collaboration with the Student Room, and they've created this amazing university tool. It allows you to choose which university is best for you, and unlike other kind of forums and like league tables and stuff, instead of it just telling you, oh, they get the best grades here, the best subjects is for this university, it actually looks at it from a student perspective. And coming from a university that wasn't really having the students kind of happiness at the forefront, it's so important to understand your student life and how it would be there. So the Student Room have created this lovely application. The link is down below. Find out what the university is like, what other people's experience of the university has been like, not just in terms of grades but in terms of teaching, in terms of student satisfaction, and these things are all very paramount, I don't know how to say that word. They're all very important when you go into university, trust me, because it will test you. You're going to be tested. Trust me. Link will be down below. Remember to check them out. I know a lot of you are going back to university or applying to university or are planning your future, so this video is going to be very relevant to you. I'm going to start from the beginning. I haven't written anything down, so hopefully I don't waffle too much, but I'm going to start from the age of 14. Anyway, if you're from the US, I know you guys don't have anything to do with our education system, but I still think this video is going to be relevant to you because it's about the way I think about things and the way I strategize my life, so I feel like you can take pointers from there. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I feel like it's good to have references. So my sisters were my references in deciding what to do. So my eldest sister, she went to Imperial College University, and that's like an incredible university, and it's like one of top 10 league tables. And I just wanted to understand why, like when I was younger, I think she was 20, how old are you when you, yeah, she was 18 when I was 8, and I was like, why is everyone making a big deal about her going to Imperial? But at that time as well, it was an amazing thing, because think about 10 years ago, a black girl from Southeast London going to Imperial College, it was like, oh, this doesn't happen. I might have a really nice room, and my house might be nice, and my road might be nice, but I walk down the road and I see drugs, and I see people on drugs, and I live in ends, like I live in the ghetto, I live in the slums, I live in the projects. That kind of thing doesn't really happen around my area, and that really did plant the seed into me wanting to be excellent within education. 14 to 16 is when you do your GCSEs in England, and that's basically when you do like 9 to 11 exams. You can choose about 5 subjects, and then you have to do like the staples: math, science, English, RS. I did maths, obviously I did math, science, English, RS, ICT is also a necessity. And then I chose to do history, sociology. I did drama, but that was outside of school because my school didn't offer it. And I also did, I should have wrote this down because I don't remember what I did. I did history, sociology, I did drama. I'm already dying and I didn't write this down. I feel like that's all I did, history and sociology. And then for GCSEs, your GCSE helps you get into either sixth form or a college. Now my school that I went to, Prendergast, we went into a sixth form, so from the ages of 16 to 18, you go into sixth form anyway. So I was looking around, like I was going to go to college because at that time I was really into drama, really into dancing, really into performing arts. So I was looking at colleges like Richmond and the Brits. But then I knew I was very academic, so I didn't want to like cut off that academic side of part of me. I feel like that's a problem that a lot of creatives have. They're really into painting, but you might be really good at English, and it's like, I don't want to choose, like I don't want to have to just do art, and I don't want to have to just do English, because it's like you're missing a part of you. Year 11, that's when you do your GCSEs. Like you do, some people do it in year 10, they've even pushed it back to year 9, like all the syllabus has changed now, but this was like 5-6 years ago, so please bear that in mind when I'm speaking about this. GCSEs, I got 1 A star in RS, I got 5 A's, I'm going to remember now. I got A's in 2 English, so English literature, English language, history, sociology, and something else that I don't remember, but I will remember. And then I got 3 B's. I got B in science, a B in, I did double science. Most people do triple now. I couldn't do triple, I wasn't that clever. So I did double science, B, 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 and then I did maths, which I got a B in. So those are 9, I think I got 9 GCSEs. 1 A star, 5 A's, oh, okay, I can't do maths already? Yeah. 5 A's and 3 B's. I don't know. I think I was kind of scared about my GCSEs. My mum was a teacher. She was a science teacher. And when I was younger, she never believed that I was like a studious person. I don't know why. She thought I was a naughty child, and I was a really, really good child. Like, I never got in trouble. I never got detentions. I never got anything like that. But she's still, like, in parent evening, she'll just think the teacher's lying when they're like, oh, Liz is a great student. She'll be like, no, she isn't. She doesn't read at home. Chatting rubbish. I'm like, Mum, like, she's saying I'm good. Why don't you believe her? Like, and I'll get beaten anyways. But that's not the point. So she was a science teacher, so that obviously really helped. Resources and the revision books, oh my god, I had so many revision guides. Like, after school, I'd have to do like 2 hours or 3 pages of like revision guides. I think it was called GCP. I had to do so many of them because like she was so into me doing well in science, and I really wasn't good at science. I had to literally sit down and learn it because I naturally I didn't get it. I did not get science at all. Like, why does it? No, it was interesting. I think my favourite one was chemistry, but I still didn't get it. Like, why do we have to do this? Why? Science lessons were fun, but I didn't really enjoy science. But my mum tutored me in science for me to get those 3 B's. If I didn't have her, I would have got C's or D's. My sister, she, funny enough, at my age, did this course which called Teach First. She did that. She was very academic, as I said, and she did maths, and she went into this organisation that makes you become a teacher basically when you're 21, and it only takes you 2 years to become a full-time teacher. So her major, as Americans would say, was obviously maths. So she became a maths teacher at the age of 21 years old. She was teaching 11-year-olds to 16-year-olds. And my sister is 4'11". She's tiny. She's smaller than me. She's so petite. But I have a very soft voice. She's very, like, authoritative. So she's like a mini person. And, like, she'll be like, no, excuse me, da-da-da. Anyways, fortunately for me, she was a maths teacher. And I wasn't that great at maths. I think there was sets. When we were in school, there were sets, so we had 5 sets, and obviously the first one was like the cleverest people. I was in the second set. I was always like a middle-ish person, like a B, never on a C level, always on a B level. I could probably never get an A, but I think my goal was just to secure a B because I didn't want to get any C's for my GCSEs because I just didn't want any C's. So she tutored me for that, which was great. So that was maths and sciences sorted. And then the other subjects, I think RS was the easiest subject for me to do. I got 100% in my GCSE, like it was 100%. I'll say proud of that. It was really easy because you literally just recite it. I can retain so much information. I don't know if I could do that now, but I could retain a lot of information by just reading it over, writing it down, looking at it, I could memorize things really, really well. That's why I got a star in RS. There was no other reason for it because it didn't require any kind of critical thinking or anything like that. Naturally, I was very good at sociology too, even though my teacher hated me. So I got an A in that. And then history was my worst subject. I would fall asleep in history. I don't know, because they weren't teaching, it wasn't even because they weren't teaching no black history, because it was actually partially interesting because we were learning about apartheid and all that kind of stuff, but actually the application of like writing it down in it, sometimes you can learn things, or I could learn things in history, but then I didn't know what they wanted from me in the exam. And you need to understand the education system isn't about what you know, it's about how you write your exam. So when you get that into your brain, that's when you can really channel what you're learning. And I think that's what I learned with history. So with history, I knew all the stuff, kind of, but I would they'll do mock GCSE exams and I'll get Fs and E's and G's and numbers that I didn't think could exist when you get I was literally so bad at it, but I knew it. Like, it wasn't hard things. Luckily enough, the church I went to, there was a history teacher there, so he tutored me once a week. He just literally taught me exam tips, how to write the essay and get a good grade, and he was just really, 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 really helpful. And by God's grace, I got an A in that, even though I was getting G's, guys. I was getting G's. My point is, if you have any like GCSEs and you're struggling, try and get a tutor. I think getting a tutor is a very privileged position because I'm not middle class, but people around me had middle class professions. So it's easy for me to say that. But I don't know now, but I can assume online, having such a big platform that we didn't even have when I was 16, there must be courses online that you can take and do, and there must be like revision packs online that you can take and do. I know we had like BBC Bite Size. I know there's going to be so much out there for you. There's even apps now that can teach you. Just do some extra work outside of school, and that's how you're going to get good GCSEs. And my mind frame from GCSEs was college. I think I got my first boyfriend, which, you know when you always have that first boyfriend that ruined your life? Yeah, I got him when I was 16, so so awkward. I went into sixth form not really thinking about what I was doing because I was thinking about boys, sadly enough. What I decided to do at sixth form was 3 subjects instead of 4 subjects. So people say, oh, do 4 subjects and then drop one. To me, at 16 years old, that didn't make any sense. I was like, why can't I just do 3 subjects and then do 3 subjects the next year? Why do I need to drop one? That's wasting my time. Like, I still have this mentality. I'm just like, I hate doing things that I think is going to be a waste of time for me. So I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to do 3 subjects. I was a rebel, and I did 3 subjects. I did sociology, RS, and psychology. I chose those subjects because they automatically link to one another because they're all humanities, and I was very, very good at essay writing. I would say if you're going into sixth form, to me sixth form isn't that hard, but I knew that people were saying that all the sciences were hard, so I was like, nope, I am not doing that. And people were saying that maths was hard, so I was like, nope, I am not doing that. So yeah, basically I chose those 3 subjects because I knew I was naturally good at 2 of them. I had never done psychology before, but it did seem interesting, and it turned out to be the most interesting but challenging one, so I had to work really hard to get the grade that I did. As I said, I got a boyfriend, so I did not care. When I was 16 going on to 17, I didn't care about school. I didn't turn up to classes. My teacher was like, who are you? My attendance was so bad, like I just did not care. And I think that's the season where our fees in the UK was going up. So it was going up from 3k going to university to 9k. And at the time, my mum did pay for my sister and my other sister to go into uni. But as I said before, she got ill around that time. So she wasn't about to pay 9 grand because she wasn't working anymore. So I was just like, okay, I'm not going to go to uni then. And for me, loans wasn't an option at the time because I didn't really know a lot about it. And none of my sisters, obviously my sisters are what I use as reference, or what I used as reference then. They didn't have to take out any loans, so I didn't think I needed to take out a loan. So I was just like, okay, I'm just not going to go to uni. I didn't have any plans. I was just like, I'm not going to go to uni. I didn't really care about my exams, which reflected badly. I got 1 A and 2 C's. My A was in sociology, given why I did it as a degree, and my 2 C's was in RS and psychology. I was really, really disappointed in RS because I feel like that was literally because I didn't revise enough, because it was still easy, I just didn't revise enough. Something changed. I think I spoke to a few friends and I learned a bit more about university. That's why I think this student room university kind of life guide thing that they're doing in the student room is great, because I just learned a bit more. My school wasn't giving it to me. It was more so a friend of mine who was like, hey, I go to London School of Economics, it's great for sociology. He studied sociology, and I was like, oh, so there's a place that I could go that's really, really good for sociology. There's a great university, and I could potentially get the grades to get in. I could get into a very good university, and things were just clicking, and I suddenly started believing in myself. And when I tell you, there's a power in believing in yourself. Believe. I started believing in myself, and I was like, wait, I might be able to go to the 3rd best university in England, in London, in the UK, one of the top 10 universities in the world. This is a possibility for me. And something just changed in that summer. I went to the 2nd year of 6th form, like, okay, so I've got these 2 C's now and 1 A. What am I going to do? I looked at in depth in the modules, and I think do 2 exams to get that C and 2 exams to get that A, if that makes sense. So I think in one of the exams I might have got an A, and in the other one I might have got a D. So I just retook the D, and basically I did retakes in January and I did retakes in June of 2010 in my 2nd year. Didn't apply to university because I knew if I was going to apply to London School of Economics with 1 A and 2 C's as my predicted grades, I wouldn't get in, so I didn't apply. That was a strategic move I made, because I was like, what can I do to make sure I get the grades that I need and not get rejected? So what I did is I applied a year after, when I knew I would get the grades and have the grades to get in, if that makes sense. So I worked extremely hard in my final year of college, sixth form. That was the year I communicated with my teachers the most. They had never seen me so much. And I just worked very, very hard. And you get to that time, you're like, you know what? I need to do these essays because it's going to benefit me. And I think that's the first time you realise, homework actually benefits you. Throughout the whole time before, you were doing it just so the teacher didn't chat rubbish to you. But, when you get to college and university especially, you realise the work actually benefits you. If you don't do the work, it's not going to benefit you, so you might as well just do it. One of my methods of learning was like writing things in big pieces of paper on the wall, having revision buddies. Like, I did everything. I recorded my notes and I would sleep to listen to them. I did that. I still do that, to be honest. I still did that when I was at university. I'll go for walks just listening to my notes and trying to recite them. It's draining thinking about it. No wonder why I'm getting dumber, because I used to exercise my brain so much. I don't know how it happened, but I got 2 A's and 1 B at sixth form. And that was the criteria to get into London School of Economics. So I was like, oh my god, I might be able to actually go. But the dilemma was, it was now 2010 and I hadn't applied to uni. But I was still really into performing arts and still really into dancing and stuff. So, and I had put on a bit of weight as well because I got my first boyfriend, and obviously you go out to eat, they buy you food, you get comfortable, your metabolism just slows down and you're just like, whoa, excuse me. So I was like, let me just do a dance course. So I went to my local college in my area and they were offering this classical dance course. So I studied ballet, contemporary and jazz for a year. I did that about 4 days a week. It was like intense. I miss it. I love you if you're watching this, but everyone else, they were coming into college, so they were 16 and I was 18, so they were a little bit immature in my class because I was in the beginner class because I had never done ballet or jazz before. So yeah, that was difficult. So I was mainly the mum in that course. But it was so much fun because I was literally doing what I love to do every single day. And I was improving myself. I was losing weight. I was so happy. I had a new boyfriend then as well. And he was super nice to me. That gap year was amazing. And there's a horror story. I was meant to go to India, but that's a whole other story altogether. Like, I'll tell you that one day. That gap year was the best thing I did. I was working at Waitrose. Okay, I'm going to go into jobs after this. Rewind really quickly. I didn't talk about jobs. So my first job was actually at a hairdresser's in my local area. That was when I was 16, turning 17. Obviously, they underpaid me, so I quit. Like 3 weeks. I did it for 3 weeks. I worked 4 days a week and I was getting paid like £20 a month. It was so rude. Like, it was so disrespectfully rude. And I was like cane rowing, I was doing braids, I was sweeping, I was shampooing, I was conditioning, I was doing every single bloody thing, and I was getting paid like let me not exaggerate, it was about £40 a month. She was taking the piss. So I quit that, applied for so many jobs, like just applying. It was so draining, but finally, thank God, I got a Waitrose interview first year, end of summer college, if that makes sense. So I was 17 at the time. That was my first interview. My friend Leslie, hey Leslie, the Leslie girl that you saw in my Milan vlogs. I want to hold her now, but I don't know. She just texted me that morning, good luck Liz, this is I don't know why I'm crying. I feel like she just texted me like, good luck Liz, this is what you need to do. I didn't even ask. I think I just told her a random dance day that we had that, oh my god, I got an interview, and then she just texted me this whole thing that I needed to do. And I still remember, if it wasn't for that text, I really wouldn't have got that interview. I was really appreciative for my friends. I'm not going to start crying because I really cried in another video, so I'm just really appreciative. Thank you. So I sat in the middle, I was really engaging. I did teamwork. When they asked what my favourite food is, I didn't say chicken or jollof rice, I said ice. I tried to make it as like weird as possible. I was one of the 2 girls who got the job in that interview room. I would think was fantastic because there were so many people there, and I was like 17. I didn't know what I was doing. It's my first ever interview, and I got it. So I worked at Waitrose in Tottenham Court Road. It was fun at first because obviously it was my first job. I was earning like $7.50 an hour and I was like, oh my god, so much money. And Waitrose is one of those like prestige retail jobs. Like you can have like retail jobs, and then if you work at Waitrose or John Lewis, actually no, John Lewis is a bit easy, can't lie. But if you work at Waitrose, it's like, oh, you're up there, you know? It's dumb. Moving forward to my gap year, I was dancing, I was working at Waitrose, I was working there 3 days a week, dancing 4 days a week, having a boyfriend every single day, madly in love. I'm spending my money, not really saving, just enjoying life. I was applying to university. So I applied to LSE in October. My friend helped me out with my application because he already went there and he basically did my personal statement for me. Thank you so much. But I would say LinkedIn exists now. Use it to your advantage, people. Use it. So if I was now applying to university, I'll go on LinkedIn and be like, students at London School of Economics studying sociology. I'll see a bunch of people at London School of Economics studying sociology. I'll click on their profile, I'll add as a friend, I'll message them saying, hey, I'm 17, please help me, I need your help, please can you look over my personal statement. I will send this to about 20 people on LinkedIn. One of them is going to have it in their heart to help you. That is all you need to do. The internet has made it so easy for you to succeed. Use it, people. Use LinkedIn. If you're using, and don't tell your teachers that I told you to do this, because I feel like schools are trying to help. I don't know, I'm not in schools. When I was in school, they did not help me at all. Even trying to get my references a year later, they were just taking so freaking long. I applied to London School of Economics, Warwick, Bath, Surrey and Manchester. I had no intention to go into those four. I just wanted to go to London School of Economics. And if I wasn't going to go to London School of Economics, I wasn't going to go to uni. And I was still in that ethos of, I'm not going to uni if I'm not going to London School of Economics. Literally because, in my mind, I want the best. And that's how I work. If I don't go to the best university, why am I spending 50k there? If it's not the best university, I'm not going. That's the mind frame I had at 18. I don't know who I thought I was. I think at this age, I would have just gone. But at 18, I wouldn't have gone. Like, no one was telling me to go to university. No one really put pressure on me. I had control of my life. That was just the mentality I had. I'm not telling you to take on that mentality, but I don't think it's a bad mentality to have, because it's just like, either you do the best or you just don't do it. That's the... I don't know who I think I am. I applied in October. I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm going to get in. There's all these problems with my referencing. I was in Paris when I found out that I got in. I was crying. I was so happy. Like, that was literally one of the first times that I understood the power in believing in yourself. Because at 17, when I was like, okay, I want to go to London School of Economics, but I don't know how this is going to work out. I just had to have faith in myself and faith in my abilities, and I physically didn't have the grades at the time. ACC, that wasn't happening, so all I had was self-belief and motivation and a goal, and I did all those three and I got in. I was like, oh my god, like, believing in yourself actually works. And I got to university. I got to LSE. It was the best and worst thing that ever happened to me. Best thing because I was so proud of myself, and it was the first time I realised, you know, I can believe in myself and do something, and it happened. I was like, what? Like, that works? Biggest culture shock ever. One of two black girls in my school, and I'm used to being surrounded by black and Asian and different, like, I have a little story to tell. My area is so multicultural, and my school was so multicultural when I was growing up, that I didn't think people were English. People were English. I thought everybody immigrated into England because everyone around me had immigrated into England. In choir practice, there was this English girl called Samantha. I was like, oh, Samantha, where are you from? And she was like, English. I was like, no, you're not. Like, where are you originally from? Like, Spain or Ireland? Or where are you from? She's like, no, I'm English. And I was like, no. Like, no, because everyone comes into England. No one's born here. Everyone comes in. That's how multicultural my area is, and I think that's a beautiful story, because it's just like, it's so innocent, and so like, I'm blessed to have had that opinion so young, because it means that I wasn't really exposed to whiteness too early. Moving forward, LSE was an experience because I realised how black I was. Last year, you're really pushed by all these agencies to go to all these open days, and they are amazing opportunities to go to. I will say Rare and SEO are two companies that definitely help black women and men specifically get into corporate jobs. So if you're into investment banking, any type of marketing, any type of technology, these two kind of, call them the middlemen of trying to get a job, will help you out in your application process in terms of applying for jobs, going through your application process with you, doing mock interviews with you. Those two companies are ones that I would directly link to. They run to your African Caribbean societies and like, guys, come to us. In first year, I went to like Barclay investment banking days. I went to Goldman Sachs, I went to Deloitte, I went to all these, you know when you go to Canary Wharf and you see those big buildings, like those massive buildings. I basically went in there, fell asleep. They were talking about some economics things. Like, I didn't even realise economics was a proper subject until I was 16. I fell asleep and it just wasn't for me. And I felt the peer pressure to do investment banking because LSE is known for people becoming investment bankers. I was gonna do audit, like I was doing an application, I got through it into an interview stage, and then I was just like, nah. And what changed for me was, I think, it was definitely still in first year of university, I actually went to an event, so I'm just making sure my hair's straight. I went to an event that really interested me, and it was a L'Oreal marketing event. So I went into the headquarters of L'Oreal in Hammersmith. I was like, oh my god, beauty and business go together? What? Literally, it was the most amazing thing, an amazing day I had been. So we had a tour of L'Oreal. I realised how many companies they owned. We went to the offices. It was so like beautiful because these people were intelligent, but they were glamorous, and you were talking about beauty, but in a very intellectual way. And it was like two of my worlds, not including dance though, but two of my worlds had collided, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? I need to be there, like I need to do this. So that day was amazing. I think we had to do like we did different things, like we went into teams and we had to like create a project that was unisex, like a perfume, and then pitch it to people and see which one was the best pitch. We didn't win. I think we should have won. I thought it was great. I think I'll probably do a much better job now, now that I'm actually in marketing. But that was like my first insight, the seed that grew my passion for marketing, my passion for beauty, and my passion for business. Like, I didn't know it was there, but like when I got there, I realized how much knowledge I had about products. And me, before Lizzie Loves, I never watched YouTube. Like, I wasn't one of those girls who watched YouTube and then wanted to create a YouTube channel because, oh my god, I watch YouTube so much that I want to create a YouTube. I wasn't one of those. It's fine if you're one of those, but I wasn't one of those. I was out dancing or with a boyfriend. Like, I wasn't someone, like, I went to YouTube as a reference rather than an experience. Like, it wasn't a form of entertainment for me then than it is now. Like, I didn't watch vloggers. I didn't care for anyone. Slowly got into filming myself. I went to Marrakesh where I vlogged everything. I put it all in a video. I was like, oh my god, I kind of like editing. That was my first insight to editing. And then I bought my first camera. Did a channel with my friend for about like 9 months. It didn't work out, but through that I learned so much about the technical side and just a brief amount about marketing and how to market yourself. Like, and I realized that I was good at editing, I was good at being creative, and that kind of fun experience really drove my passion to want to start my channel by myself and become serious about Lizzie Loves. I think I had an idea that I wanted to make it a full-time thing. I didn't know how. I just knew I needed to start. So I started Lizzie Loves July 2015. By the way, second year, I totally flopped at university. I got 2-1, nearly got a first in first year of university because I was so scared of the difficulty of university. Like, I didn't know how hard it was going to be, so I revised so much in my first year. 70s are what you need to get a 2-1, to get a first, and I got like 69s, so I was like, damn girl. And then I got so excited and so comfortable that I didn't do any work in second year, and I got 2-2s. So I got a 2-2 in second year. That was very, very low, which pushed my grades down so much. Coming up to third year now, I had just started Lizzie Loves. I was in my third year. I had decided that I kind of wanted to do YouTube full time, but I didn't really understand how sponsorship works. I didn't understand really how to make money. I wasn't making that much of AdSense kind of income until about April was when I started making like, I can quit my job money from my AdSense. That's not quit my job, that's like quit my Waitrose job. Oh, that's another thing. I quit my Waitrose job October of 2015. So last year October, I got to the stage where I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. Anyone who's worked in retail knows what I'm talking about. I was at Waitrose 4 years, from last year of college to my gap year to 2 years of university. I was there, and from there I switched stores once. So I went to Victoria's store in Waitrose. Generally just working in retail. It's not even Waitrose per se, because I don't want anyone to come for me. I don't want it. But generally working in retail and interacting with people, you understand how crazy people are, and it was really having an effect on my happiness. And with me, my friend Josh pointed out to me that I do everything that makes me happy. Like, if something doesn't make me happy, I'm not doing it. But sometimes you have to do things. Like work, I had to do. Like, I had to earn money. But I had a few side hustles at uni. Like, they had to realise that I liked vlogging, so I was doing some vlogging work for them at uni, which I was getting paid for. And also I got another job at uni, which was like an event steward, so I'd literally help out at events. One day I was driving to my work, I remember it was a Tuesday evening, and I literally kept on taking the wrong turn, and it was so weird because I drove this route like 20 million times for a year, and subconsciously I was just taking the wrong route, and I was just like, what is going on? And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I text my friend Holly, who works at Waitrose. I was like, Holly, I can't do this. I text Emma, my manager, and I was like, Emma, I'm sorry, I can't come in. And then I literally quit. This thing's making me sick. I am not doing this job anymore. And to be honest, I wasn't that financially stable in terms of regular income. I've always been a very, very good saver, and I think the fact that I stayed partially at home during my university life helped, because obviously you have student finance. So when you live in London, you have student finance, you're stacked up, like, you're not poor. So I had a lot of that money if I needed something to fall back on. I didn't pay for rent or anything like that, so I had quite a bit stashed. I quit that job. I was at uni working as an event steward and also doing some video work for them. I was struggling. Like, last year of uni is the first time you ever realise you need to work hard. Like, I was just working so freaking, like, I would not want to go back there. People who were early on my Snapchat wasn't that big. It's not even that big now, but if you were on my Snapchat during my exams, kudos to you, because I was complaining. I was so ugly. I had spots. I was stressed. You know when you're fighting? I was fighting through that struggle. My God. I had learnt so much about marketing from Lizzie Loves. I didn't realise I gathered all this knowledge. Like, I think when you're in social media, you realise a lot about how things work, not just for your own individual brand, but for other brands. You realise why things work out for them, why things aren't working out for them, what's effective, what's not effective, and you just become this analytical creature. Well, I became this analytical creature, and I realised I had so much knowledge. Someone inboxed me on LinkedIn. Make sure, guys, and we're talking about LinkedIn again, if you're talking about careers, make sure your LinkedIn is set up like your CV. My LinkedIn literally looks like my CV. I have all the schools I went to, all the grades I went to, my credentials, people endorsing or whatever they do there. I have content creator, consultant, whatever, like what I'm good at as my title. Someone messaged me and they're like, hey, I can see you're a content creator, we have this job here, message me if you're interested, like, so we can set up a meeting. I thought it was spam, so I ignored it, and then as I told you before in my Q&A, like, I got bored, so I hollered at them again, and then I got referred with the other job. It was a referral. They were like, hey, this girl is good at good at Instagram, and she also went to a good university. I'm sure she's clever enough to help you with your startup company. So I got the other job through that. So right now, I see my jobs as I have clients. I am a freelancer. Like, I'm not on any payroll with any of them. I'm literally a freelancer. I invoice them. So right now, I see myself as a marketing consultant / creator, and I'm using what I'm doing now as examples. I'm trying to build up my portfolio of, look, I help this company do this. This is their Instagram. This is what I help them do. This is how good I am. This is why you should pay me X amount to do this job. So right now I'm trying to build up my credentials and build up, like, just my, what's the word? My basically making myself invaluable. You know when you're just too good that they have to hire you? For the jobs I have now, I have not done a CV for, I have not done a cover letter for. I literally have the examples to show them, to be like, I'm good at this, hire me. I would say you just need to become an expert in something and show that they need you, and then people will hire you. Like, I don't think it's that hard, but I do think it's hard to find your niche. I went to uni and they really, really emphasised the importance of networking and talking to people and stuff that I just couldn't. I'm not a good networking person. I need to get better at it, but naturally, face to face, I'm so rubbish at small talk. But what I am good at is creating visuals and creating examples and creating content. So I can use that as my form of networking. I can be like, hey, I can do this. Look at this. Hire me. So you need to find what you're good at and what you can show people, because sometimes I feel like networking is actually selling yourself. But if you can find how you can sell yourself in a different way that's going to help you, then I think you'll be fine in terms of, like, whatever you want to do. This is very vague, but I hope this is kind of making sense, helping out, giving you a few light bulbs, hopefully. Closing kind of statements that I would like to make is just always try to work smart. I have been someone who has worked smart, not because I'm not necessarily lazy, I just know what I can handle. You have to know your abilities and don't stretch yourself too far, but challenge yourself at the same time. And yeah, that's how I got to the position I'm in now. So I would say that I have full control over my life. Like, I'm still in the new kind of stages of building up my clientele and just being in this industry, but I am in a place where I have control over my time. No one's telling me to get in at 9 a.m. No one's telling me when I can go for lunch. I'm treated as a human being, and I can organize my time and my life in the way I can choose what days I work. I don't know if this made any sense, but sometimes it's good to have, like, just someone's story about how they've done it or are doing it. And sometimes I don't like to speak about things too prematurely, because I've literally just become an adult, like, officially, and I still have so much to learn. So I don't like speaking too much, if that makes sense, because I can sound very young and ignorant. But at the same time, I do feel like I have a lot to offer younger people in terms of working smart and thinking forward. Like, I've always been a person to think forward and just think about. I think the main thing is, like, just knowing my abilities and being very aware of what I can do and what I can improve on and how to get better. I don't think I've ever talked so much in my life. Guys, remember to check out the student room, which this video is in collaboration with. Check out the uni match to find out the experiences and just things about the university that you might be looking into, not just in terms of grades and not just in terms of league tables, but in terms of the experience and stuff. They're doing really great works. I wish this was around when I was looking for universities, because it might have changed my choice. I don't know if it would have, but it might have. The links will be all down below. Have a lovely evening, day, night, morning, whenever you're watching this. Please remember to subscribe, like and comment, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! What YouTuber films a Q&A video and it actually turns out right the first time? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a Q&A. Hey, it's Mayo. She says, what do you think about being a virgin till marriage? Let's be real now. Let's get in there. When I was younger, I never really understood loves and just be so proud of myself. I'm getting teary for creating such a creative space that just allows me to do me.